to take a moment and go through some options that you can do when you go to the grocery store right now, because we are seeing some disrupted food supplies and different things aren't in stock. And many of us, like myself, I'm trying to follow a keto lifestyle. Someone might be paleo, someone might be doing low sugar, whatever it is. I wanted to give you some options that you can kind of move from one place to another and still get some benefits. So the first thing I want to talk about are the meats. And right now, I usually will only bring in grass-fed meat to my house, but we're having to make some choices because in the regular meat counter, I'm not seeing much of that. So first place, go to the frozen section. You're going to find a lot of buffalo and different grass-fed frozen meats in there. And then I'm also going to say to look for the fish options, because there's a lot of frozen fish that is fresh, immediately frozen, that's wild caught, and those are some great options for you. Also, you can look for smoked salmon. I just picked up a bunch of it because it's got a really long shelf life. So that can be a really good option for you as well too. Roasted chickens. Most of the stores that I've been in over the last few days have a good supply of roasted chickens. And I can tell you can grab a roasted chicken and feed the whole family. For us, it works perfect. We just pick the thing apart, and for $6 or $7, you've got some great food for the family and a good source of protein. Vegetables and fruits. Green leafy vegetables are a little bit of a challenge right now. They don't have much of a shelf life either. So things that have been plentiful as of late: avocados, berries, coconuts also. Now I try to add those in for my keto to keep good quality high fats in there. So those are good because they stay for a long period of time as well too. Frozen veggies are great. They'll take those things, they pick them and they flash freeze them right away. So we've stocked up as well too on the frozen veggies, so we can have some different ones. You just pull them out. Usually what I do with those is just saute them with some coconut oil in the pan, a little bit of sea salt on top, and they're perfect. So breads. Our stores have been just pillaged. We eat very little bread in our household anyway, but go to the frozen section. You might even find some keto bread in there if you're on the keto lifestyle as well too. So eggs have a pretty good shelf life if you go to the pasture raised and the free range eggs. If you go to the cheaper stuff, very short shelf life. So watch the shelf life on those. We've been limited to a couple cartons a piece. Let me go down to nuts: Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, pistachios, pecans, all great choices. Good shelf life, good source of fats, good source. We got some proteins in there too. Good stuff. Look for egg wraps. There's a company that has sweet potato and cauliflower egg wraps. So you can replace breads with that. They stay in the fridge and they last a long, long time. So those are a great choice too. Good fats bars, love them. If you're on keto, they're a perfect match, and if not, they taste good and they're good quality foods that will stay with you for a little longer. Let me add a couple others. Cheeses, good shelf life. They last long. We try to go with the block cheeses so that we can cut it. It's going to give you a little protein, a little fat. Those are some great sources. If we start running short on food, I want to have those in hand. But if you pick and choose, you can find the block stuff. Everybody's grabbing the sliced and the shredded. Go for the block stuff just because you got a little labor to shred it. Sometimes the other thought is too, okay, I need more calories because I don't have the meats that I normally have, and I need some carbohydrates. Well, here's a couple of choices that you can do. Sweet potatoes have a lower glycemic index than regular potatoes. They're going to give you some good nutrients as well too. You got the purples and the oranges, and we play the games with the kids sometimes that it's purple day, it's orange day, whatever that may be there. On pastas, because we can easily make a ground beef and a sauce. We can find a low sodium sauce there. We can add some fat into it with some cheeses or whatnot. But here's the chickpea pasta. I went to the store the other day. It was the only thing left, and I was like, oh, thank you. So I grabbed 3 or 4 of those. So they have those in there. Higher protein content, lower carbohydrate content. So again, if I'm speaking to the keto folks, but if you are on keto, we're just trying to get as close as we can right now until we get through this. So those are, and they'll be anti-inflammatory too, because that's what we're trying to do. Everything on here is pretty much rolls with anti-inflammatory. I had somebody talking to me today about hot dogs. They say it's probably the last thing I grab, but if I can't find any meat and I can find an organic grass-fed beef, I might choose that because it's a pretty decent alternative to what I might have. Greek yogurt, and I always go with whole fat Greek yogurt. That's a great option for you too. And I've been seeing it. I'm finding it in the shelves. And then our oils, your coconut oil, olive oil, grass-fed butter. Nobody's touching it because I don't think they know what it is because it's a little bit more expensive. Hopefully this helps you when you're going through the aisles, because right now we're not seeing what we normally see. but we've been grabbing, at least ourselves, grabbing a little bit, putting it in the freezer, grab a little bit, putting it in the freezer so we can balance things out. So I hope this helped you, because we've got to be able to, during these times, we've got to be able to hold ourselves together, keep ourselves healthy, and still feed our families with the appropriate foods as best we can. So have a great day.